Now, looking at this, Rule 1.6 gives a lot of information. So I would advise you that if you're not quite familiar with Rule 1.6 and the actual requirements that it has, to understand specifically what confidentiality means, because it will come up more often than not. And it also may plague you if you have some ethical or moral, personal ethical or moral issues with clients in certain areas. You want to be mindful of how that actually affects you, because technically your client can disclose a lot of things to you. And if there's not an exception that applies, you have to hold that confidence, no matter how bad you may think that information is. Okay. So let's look at these exceptions. So some of the exceptions that warrant disclosure, and they're listed in paragraph B, which is included within your information. You'll find that in the rules on page 3. A lawyer may reveal information protected from disclosure by paragraph A to the extent that the lawyer reasonably believes necessary to comply with the rules of professional conduct. So if you have to comply with the rules of professional conduct, law, court order, things of that nature, yes, there's a requirement there to uphold that above confidentiality. Okay. The example we gave earlier in Rule 8.4, you can't hide contraband that may be affiliated with pending or future legal matters for your client. So technically, yes, there's an exception there. To prevent the commission of a crime by the client, we talked about that, as well as preventing reasonable certain death or bodily harm. That's another exception. Also, we have pending case or investigation, which we just talked about. They also give you some additional items, such as securing legal advice about the lawyer's compliance with the rules. So if there's a question that the attorney may not have complied with the rules of professional conduct based upon his or her actions within an attorney-client relationship, then yes, that exception applies there. Also, to establish a claim or defense on behalf of the lawyer in a controversy between the lawyer and client. So let's just say, for instance, there may be some grievance filed, some malpractice claim, and there is a claim or defense on behalf of the attorney. Yes, you could potentially breach confidentiality with the exception that I need to reveal this information based upon the claim given, okay, by the client. And if you want to establish some type of defense, technically, yes, you would have to breach confidentiality because the actual relationship is in question. It may be some type of potential malpractice lawsuit, and you need to reveal that information. So that may be another exception that would apply.